Hey guys, Blake here with the Peloton Analytics Tool, and want to go through a quick video here to highlight the changes in the version 1.2 that was just released. So starting on the summary page, down towards the bottom, the instructions remain pretty much the same, but there's a few fields that have been added that will be used for some future build out that's not fully being used in this version. The name and the age do apply in this particular version, but all of these are optional. You can leave them completely out, and then more to come with the use of the weight and the gender as further development occurs. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the summary. I've already got a sample data set loaded up in the back, but just want to kind of feature some of the main changes. Starting over in the filters area, there is now a new filter that allows you to filter your rides by the time of day. So if you want to look at all your rides, or those that happen early in the morning, mid-morning, afternoon, etc., you're going to be able to filter those by the time you did the workout. The other change to our filters is the addition of Alex as a new instructor. So you can filter Alex's rides as you start to take those. And then the other change is the box you see here is just a cleaner view of the total number of rides that these particular filters, these four filters you see, these three filters you see are pulling from the full data set. Next we've got the milestones view. So up here where you see the button that says Hall of Fame, if you click on that, you got now a really simple just view of a few of the top measures as far as your performance. You have an all selection which looks across all of your different ride lengths, and if you want to look at how you did in a particular length ride, these are now your top performances for your 20-minute rides. 45, I know that's going to be a huge value for a lot of folks, so this is where all your PRs would be for those values at the 45 interval. And then, you know, if you've done some of the longer rides out there, you'll have that data as well. If you haven't completed a ride of the length, then you're just going to get a no data, which means that you have not performed a ride of that specified length. And again, the all just looks at the top value for the given measurement across all of your rides. So this would be the absolute peak that you've done in any given any given length ride. All right, back over to the summary. Another improvement that we have here, and probably the one that's been most asked about, is this section where you see kind of a grid that's going to show a single value according to a look back date. So just to kind of give an example of what I mean by that, if I look at my total output, I have the ability to set how far back in my data do I want to go. So for those of you who want to do just a week look back, you would basically come in here and only choose the date that's a week back from today's date. If you're doing a 3-month look back, so let's say I want to do something like that and look back to the performance since November, I'm getting basically a trend line that sort of equally breaks up in increments that look back date to whatever I have current in my file. My test file does have some pretty big gaps in time where rides didn't occur, and so where that's going to happen, you're going to see these points that kind of drag down to your 0 here. So if you're a person who has a lot of big gaps in your riding, you may find that these valleys step in and it gets fairly choppy. But the trend line that you see here, is a linear trend line, and obviously there's going to reach a point where on certain values, you'd expect it to really start to taper. But anyway, it is a way to just trend that one particular value over time. And again, my data set that I'm querying here may not be the best to look at. Let's actually pull this back to where I had it, I think back in October of 2015, just to kind of see a long trend so that those valleys don't really interfere as much. And then we have a toggle here, so if you want to get rid of the dotted line, which is the trend line, and show instead percent change, you've now got this orange line that is your percent change. Now notice trend line is just sitting here, but that's actually on 0 because this orange line is actually going down into the negative y-axis here, and this is all in percent. So you can see that the dip between here and here is down about 60% based on the values, and then we have a strong uptick here between that timeline and essentially current day today. So I think really neat ad here. I think a lot of folks are going to enjoy this particular graph and just charting particular values over time. So if you want to just see how you're aggregating in that one value, you can certainly do so. So that's really about it for this particular upgrade. I'll mention actually too, there is a quick button for looking at release notes and just kind of highlights the things that have been added, and those are all the items that I just touched on here in this short video. So I'll actually be doing some other videos to go into other aspects of the tool. I'm going to be doing a video on really how to study some of the numbers and get some insight rather than just playing around with some cool charts. But as always, if you really like the tool, feel free to send over a donation. I've got PayPal linked up through that, and there's a button right up here in the upper right that will take you right over to the web page where you downloaded, and there'll be a quick button right there if you feel like doing a donation, and those are always appreciated. So let's till we meet next time, enjoy the tool and keep on riding.